up, guys? We're Double Trouble. Welcome back.
Let's go. We have an amazing day for you today because we have Natalie.
I know, everyone. I'm pretty great. Let's be honest.
Hey, Nat. Do you feel that on your feet? Do you feel that on your ankles? It's sand and water. You know where we have both of those things?
Could it be the beach?
It's at the beach. And that is where we're going for
Summer camp
at Wainema.
Middle school, 6th through the 12th. High school, 13th through the 19th.
High school, middle school. Can't sign up for middle school anymore because the spots are all closed.
So if you didn't sign up, that's really sad for you.
It's really sad. I feel really sorry for you.
But there are more things coming that you guys can go to. High schoolers, sign up.
We want to be just like the middle schoolers.
People. Yeah, the middle schoolers can't outreign us. Invite your friends. Speaking of friends, do you like Friends, Spencer?
I love Friends.
Do you like free money?
I love free money.
Then you know what you should do?
Bring your friends.
Hilarious.
Bring your friends. That's what you should do, right, Nat?
Yes, you can get gift cards.
They're $5.
So 2 of them, $10.
At these places. Ah! Whoa, that was scary. I think I just saw a chicken.
I think the Starbucks logo came and ate your head. Welcome back to Would You Rather.
Very special. Would you rather? Would you rather be followed by a clown for the whole summer or
follow someone in a clown suit for the entire summer?
Pros for me. I personally love clowns. They're fun and exciting, and they have like great jokes. Since I'm the youngest, I love attention. And, okay, the cons. You have a clown following you everywhere. If you don't like clowns, you're like, ah! Your turn now.
Okay, you get to live someone else's life for like the entire summer, you know, and like hopefully like they're like a good family where they like go travel the world and stuff, you know. You get to terrorize this person. The suit would probably be really hot and your makeup would melt off, so like low-key kind of creepy. What would you rather be? I would rather be followed by a clown because I think that'd be a much cooler story.
I would be followed by a clown. Thank you for watching Would You Rather? Oh,
Ew.
Natalie, what is that?
Is that the TARDIS?
It is. Looks like it's gonna go back in time to the
garage sale.
Come on, Nat, let's go into it. Wow, it looks like the TARDIS took us back in time. And my name is Jeff with my associate
Matilda.
Today we're at
The garage sale.
the garage sale.
I'm from Aussie, everyone.
Nobody cares. And I'm from South Dakota.
Nobody cares, Jeff.
Now, I would like to thank everyone who volunteered here to come make this amazing garage sale happen. Thank you to everyone who supported. Jeff, do you have any words?
Thank you for everybody who came. Absolutely everybody. Okay, we're gonna leave you all with that. Let's go back into the TARDIS. Whoa, that was such
an amazing
cool
event,
trip.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone again.
Thank you
for everyone who came.
Pound it.
Noggin. See ya.
Zimbabwe is Wakanda.
Alrighty. Whenever we're ready, we can start coming up front. Now, I'm good to start. All right. Who here has siblings? Oh, geez. Okay, that's really good. So you guys know definitely what giving up something means. Has anyone given up something for their siblings? Yes. Like what? Can I ask? Time. Oh. Patience. Okay. Maybe material things. Maybe you've given up a snack you like. Maybe you've given up, like Rachel said, a lot of time, which is, I mean, you cannot price time. So that was the best answer. Sorry. But we're talking about moments in history or people in history that have either changed the course of the history where they lived to show where they live, how God designed them to be, how God creation was supposed to be. And not only to show God's creation, but we're also talking about moments in history or people in history that have broken the design of God's creation. And today I want to tell you a little story. This actually, I'm not going to bore you with the details, but in 1950, there was this little girl. And I want you to picture Nepal. I don't know what Nepal, the country, looks in your head. Mount Everest. Just picture Nepal in your head. There's this little girl who grew up in a very, very religious family, very compassionate family, loving family. They always taught her to treat people well and show them kindness. And she always wanted to be a teacher. Always wanted to be a teacher. Studied to be a teacher. Later on, 20 years later, finally did become a teacher. And at her school, she was seeing all these little girls that had the same dream that she had. They also wanted to be teachers, they wanted to be doctors and scientists, and they wanted veterinaries and do social work. But she started noticing something over the course of time. All these little girls were starting to disappear. So she started questioning how are they disappearing? They weren't coming to school. They weren't around the neighborhood. They weren't around the community at all. They were just disappearing. One day, when she leaves work, she sees this little girl just crying on the sidewalk, just bawling her eyes out. When she sees her, she's like, hey, she recognized her because she goes to her class. And she asks her, what's going on? She replies, I just escaped because someone was trying to kidnap me to take me into sex trafficking. So once she realized where all these little girls were going, she had a plan in mind. She had something in mind that she wanted to do. Now this hurts. This hurts a lot because all these little girls were being taken to India, and they were going to be sold into brothels and sex houses, that kind of thing, so they could be later on used for sex trafficking. And she started noticing this pattern of girls disappearing, and fortunately, this little girl that was crying made it. She was able to escape. And she sparked this idea, and we'll talk about the teacher. That's her right there. I know. I was trying to tell you about a young teacher, and she's more wrinkly than you might have imagined. Her name is Anu. We'll call her Anu because her name is too hard to pronounce. Me and Josh tried. We could not. So we're going to call her Anu. And she had this dream. She started sheltering these girls, helping them escape. She started meeting people that worked at the border so they could monitor where they were taking these girls. And she was taking action little by little, and she started helping one girl escape, then another one, and it just turned into a huge, huge thing. Until later, in the 1990s, or in the 2000s, she had an organization that had already helped escape around 50,000 girls. So that's that story of compassion that I want to talk about today. That level of compassion was so deep that she didn't just see a girl crying like, hey, how are you? Good. I almost got sold into sex trafficking. Oh, man, that sucks. Just kept walking. That is not what she did. She saw the little girl. She felt compassion. Now, in the Bible, when we hear compassion, we always think of pity, right? Like when you say, oh, I feel compassion, it's because you feel pity. Compassion is not pity. Compassion is when you do feel that pity, that thing that drives you to feel bad for people, then you do something. Compassion is love in action. So when you love someone so deep and when you care for someone so deep, your compassion is going to take you to do something for that person. Feeling pity is not the same thing as being compassionate. Being compassionate is going a step further. This is what she did. She started this organization just at her house, sheltering these girls, giving them food, giving them an education since she was a teacher. Then this became into a bigger thing. And she had, when it finally became an organization, she had other people having actual programs for education and having actual groups of security that would go around the border and monitor these things that were happening. But we see something similar in the Bible. The Bible has this really interesting view of compassion. Now, I'm going to show you this picture. And I just want you to look at it for a couple of seconds. I'm not going to really explain what it is, but I just want you to take a look at it, and it'll all make sense, I promise. Now, like I said, this is Anu. This is why we're going to call her Anu. Try to pronounce that. You won't. But like I was saying, she is exactly what I told you. Compassion is not pity. It's going that extra step because of the love and that care that you have for someone. It's going that extra step. So the way that Jesus did this in Matthew 9, he healed people. He brought a dead girl back to life. He healed the sick. He gave sight to a blind man, made the mute speak. And the Bible says in Matthew 9 that he felt compassion. Now, he felt compassion, and we can kind of think of this as pity. But then he did something. He healed people. He brought the dead back to life. He didn't just feel bad for them. He did something. He was moved by his love and care for people. Now, I'm going to read to you my favorite Bible story. I promise you, I'm not going to say this again any other time I preach. This is my ultimate favorite Bible story. I promise not to say this ever again. Now, I want you to take a last look at this. Last look. And I need you to pay extra attention. I promise this is a little bit of reading, but this is one of the best stories that you'll ever read in the Bible. Now, this is 1 Kings 3:16. This is 9 verses before this. King Solomon asked God for wisdom. So God asked Solomon, hey, you're this great man. I want to give you anything you want. And King Solomon asked for wisdom. Now, just keep this in mind. He asked for wisdom, and he was given godly wisdom. So this is wise King Solomon. Now, the story starts like this. Now, 2 prostitutes came to the king and stood before him. One of them said, pardon me, my lord. This woman and I, one prostitute was talking about the other one. This woman and I live in the same house. And I had a baby while she was there with me. The 3rd day after my child was born, this woman also had a baby. So they both had a baby. We were alone. There was no one in the house but the 2 of us. During the night, this woman's son died because she laid on him. I know. Just stay with me. So she got up in the middle of the night and took my son from my side while I, your servant, was asleep. She put him by her breast and she put her dead son by my breast. So she is blaming the other woman that she killed her son and then stole her son and put the son by her breast to make it look like she was breastfeeding him or that it was hers, right? Now, I know this sounds like Bible gossip kind of thing, so just follow me. The next morning, I got up to nurse my son, and he was dead. But when I looked at him closely in the morning light, I saw that it wasn't the son I had born or birthed. The other woman said, no. The living one is my son, and the dead one is yours. But the first one insisted, no. The dead one is yours, and the living one is mine. So we see this huge conflict on who's the dead baby is and who's the alive one is. I know this is really sad and crazy, but just please stay with me. And so they argued before the king. The king said, now this is King Solomon in all his wisdom, okay? In all his wisdom, this one says, my son is alive and your son is dead. This is one of the women. While the other one says, no, your son is dead and mine is alive. Then the King Solomon said, bring me a sword. Just bring me a sword. So they brought him a sword. Then he gave an order, cut the living child in 2 and give half to one and half to the other. Now this is Solomon, okay? In all his wisdom, this was the one man that was probably as wise, or no, actually maybe a little less than Jesus, but he was definitely really wise. Now, what the heck? But I know this sounds like a crazy thing for King Solomon to do. But in reality, this is a really wise decision, and you'll see why. Now, next couple of verses. The woman whose son was alive was deeply moved. Now, when it says deeply moved, it's this word in the Bible that means compassion. When in the Old Testament, this word that is used for compassion, in its root, it means womb, like a mother's womb. So when compassion is talked about in the Bible, it's actually talking about God's compassion as a motherly compassion, like a mother that has a child inside of her that she loves, that she cares for. That there's nothing that mother could not ever do for that child ever. There's nothing that'll ever make that mother stop loving that child. That kind of compassion is the one that we're talking about here. Now, the woman whose son was alive was deeply moved out of love for her son and said to the king, please, 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 my lord, give her the living baby, don't kill him. But the other one said, neither I nor you shall have him. Cut him in two. I don't care. Then the king gave his ruling. Give the living baby to the first woman. Do not kill him. She is the mother. When all of Israel heard the verdict that the king had given, they held the king in awe because they saw that he had wisdom from God to administer justice. Now, this is crazy because just a couple of seconds ago, Israel was probably like, what the heck did he just say? Cut him in two? And now they're all like, oh, shoot, yeah, he is wise. Now think of this. How did he know who the real mother was? Because of her compassion. She would have preferred the other woman to just take the baby, even if she wasn't going to have it, but she just wanted the baby to be alive. That's all she wanted. That's all she cared for. She just, King Solomon, I don't care. Just take the baby, but I want to see him alive. That's all I want to know, that he's alive. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. This is the kind of compassion that God has for us. And we have a lot of mothers here, so this is hard for me to talk about and without messing it up. But they can definitely tell you that there is nothing they will not do for their child. They love them so much that the Bible talks about motherly love almost like God's love. Something so deep, so profound. Like this mother, there's nothing she wouldn't have done to save her child. Now, I want to encourage you to take this level of compassion. To not only, you don't have to be a mother, or you don't have to be someone that's going to start an organization or anything. You can just be who you are in your context with this level of compassion. I encourage you to, whenever you see someone that's hurting, that's in a position where maybe they're not favored, right? Maybe they're being bullied. Maybe things aren't going well. Maybe deeper stuff is going on. To be that person that not only feels bad, but takes a step further into that compassion and takes them under your wing and pray for them, give them words of encouragement, go up to them, try to help them. If maybe they're thirsty, give them a drink. Maybe they're hungry, give them something to eat. Whatever it is, I encourage you to go just a step further than just feeling pity. Now, this is how John puts it in 1 John 3:17. If anyone has material possessions and sees a brother in need, but has no pity, how can the love of God be in him? Now, I just told you, pity is not necessarily compassion. And then this is saying, if you see a brother in need but has no pity, so are you telling me that I do have to feel pity or I don't have to feel pity? Well, see how he's saying, if anyone has material possessions and sees a brother in need but has no pity, how can the love of God be in him? It is implied that with your material possessions, well, in this verse, I'm not saying the only way to help is with material possessions, but it is implied that you're not only going to feel pity, but with whatever you have, whether that is a word of encouragement, whether that is food or a drink or anything that you have, you are going to show God's love to that person. So it's not only pity, but it's with whatever you have, whether that's something spiritual that you want to give, something material, whatever it is, you're going to go a step further. So my encouragement to you is to take this compassion just one step further. Not make it just pity and like, oh man, that person's situation sucks and this. But go one step further like this mother. She was surrounded by all all of Israel and the King Solomon and all these people with authority and someone ready to chop up the baby. But she's like, no, wait. Just take it. Just take the kid, but just don't kill him. This level of compassion, she was willing to give up her kid just for him to live. So what are you willing to give up for someone that needs it? Let's pray. Dear God, I ask that you fill our hearts with this insane and crazy level of compassion, that it is not only pity and feeling bad for someone, but that you give us the courage, that you give us the strength to go up to that person, to be a light to that person, to show them your love, to show them who you are, Lord. Whether that is something so simple, it's like a word of encouragement, whether it's something so big as an organization, I ask that your deep love shines through us and we can be light and we can be people of compassion towards others. In your name, I pray. Amen.